area around the World Trade Center.
And more is expected later today.
Oh, fella, come on. Baby, you're no good.
From downtown Greensboro to attract.
I'm very fortunate.
I'm Chad Tucker in Surrey County. Sadie Boylan knew.
Allen High School was a long time ago. You can probably tell by the fit of my old Letterman jacket here.
My brother and I grew up watching horror films, the Hammer movies.
You 10-7, you're under arrest. Driving while impaired.
The Klamath River was once a bounty of fish and eel for the Karuk Indians.
It's sad to see all this is going on and we have to go live through it, my people.
But Sonny Davis has watched all that change in recent years. The reservoirs that channel the Klamath are now overrun by algae, a neon green toxic soup that could be poisoning these waters.
I would say it's 90% ruined now because we ain't getting no fish back hardly. If we want fish, the people here has to go over to the coast and get them before they start, and if we can get any.
But the brew percolating in the Iron Gate Reservoir is so toxic, swimmers, boaters, and water skiers are being told, stay out of the water. This toxin attacks the liver, and it's believed responsible for the deaths of close to a dozen dogs.
When you are water skiing, you have the aerosols of the toxin. The algae cells are breaking open, so the aerosols are going directly into your nasal passage, which is going directly into your bloodstream.
Warning signs went up in late June. But during the previous 2 summers, visitors unknowingly frolicked in this goo without warning until well after Labor Day. Tina Gordon's pet lab was on a tight leash.
We've been more than warned by a lot of different people. It concerns me probably people that come up here and don't know anything about it.
Last summer, biologists found toxic algae levels here on the Iron Gate and nearby Copco reservoirs that were nearly 4,000 times higher than the safe standards set by the World Health Organization. Sometime in the next week, California Fish and Game will also begin testing to see if the fish in these waters are absorbing those toxins. Toxins that emerge when blue-green algae goes into what's called a bloom. The State Department of Water Resources has been taking samples from the Delta since 1999. Peggy Lehman has found high concentrations of toxic algae near Stockton and Antioch, and ocean tides have pushed it as far west as Martinez.
It causes liver cancer in humans and wildlife. And so if people drink this water at high enough concentrations, they can have cancer or liver tumors.
Toxic algae blooms could also explain the rapid decline of the smelt and shad, fish native to the Delta. Back at the Iron Gate Reservoir, fishermen as far back as a year ago wondered what this soupy mess might be doing to their catch. Vernon Diaz says a fish and game biologist and local health officials told him they were safe.
We were thinking about dumping them, but they said that as long as we didn't wash it in this water here, we were probably all right.
Testing is just beginning in Siskiyou County, but sampling in the Delta has already revealed algae toxins are leaching into fish. Some algae blooms even carry a toxin capable of attacking the human nervous system.
We don't have methods off the shelf to analyze the presence of those toxins. So this is an area of active scientific development.
Agricultural runoff could be what's feeding this algae bloom boom, but industrial pollution and global warming are also on the radar. The Karuk Indians believe removing the small dams along the Klamath is the answer. Stagnant water is a breeding ground.
Everything that river pertains to will come back if we can take these dams out. The river will clean itself out.
No matter the size, the shape, the U.S. colors wave at you from homes, from cars, businesses,
red, white, and blue bedroom,
and everywhere in Charlene McDaniel's home.
Master bedroom is all red, white, and blue. Bedspread, everything. The bathroom is red, white, and blue. And the kitchen in there is red, white, and blue.
And no, she isn't kidding.
I mean, I have all kinds of shirts. I have 2 red, white, and blue jackets. I have shoes. My portable phone, there's red, white, and blue. I always wear my red, white, and blue. Because I wear red, white, and blue anytime I take a notion. It just doesn't have to be a holiday for me.
But it is a holiday. It's Flag Day. And again, every day is Flag Day to Charlene.
We're Americans. We should fly a flag any day.
During the last 9 months, Charlene hasn't been the only one showing her colors.
Since September 11th, yeah. But I think it's kind of dwindling a little bit, you know. It's sad that it took a tragedy like that for people to fly a flag or go out and buy something red, white, and blue or wear the ribbons. It didn't take that from me.
We carry any kind, any size American flag that you need.
Brenda Shore has always stocked flags at her Archdale store, including ones made by the same company that supplies the U.S. government.
These are all made in the USA, and that's really important.
And unlike Charlene, she doesn't see flag fervor fading.
Yeah, I sell U.S. flags all the time, probably a dozen. So yeah, as a rule, I would say that that's about what I sell in a week's time.
But Brenda sells more than the Stars and Stripes.
Every time I sell a flag, I have literature that I give people that informs them on how we're supposed to treat our U.S. flag.
And has been known to call and reprimand businesses that fly tattered or soiled American flags like this one in High Point. That hasn't been a problem of late, though.
We've been selling more to the businesses, too, because since 9/11, people have been taking care of their flags.
That's something Charlene can appreciate.
So any time it's a good time to fly the flag. If you're an American, fly your flag.
$173 homes destroyed, 23 others suffered minor or moderate damage, 75 outbuildings are a total loss, and 2,500 acres of prime Tahoe Basin timberland is scarred. Tonight this fire is just 5% contained. Smoky skies masked the fury of the flames. Flames that leveled homes with frightening precision. This was Norman Wackenhut 15 minutes after learning his home was gone.
It's like losing a parent. Sorry.
It started Sunday afternoon as a small brush fire. But 35-mile-an-hour wind gusts turned this into a firestorm. Winds so dangerous, airplanes and helicopters had to be grounded. Today, thick smoke kept them out of the air.
If the wind had not been what it was yesterday, the fire would have done nothing compared to what happened.
That left the firefighting to hand crews. By noon, those crews formed a loose ring around the fire zone along Angora Ridge, a fire that may have been fed by overgrowth. City Councilman Ted Long blames the state and federal government for not clearing the forest.
They're cheapskates. They spend money in Iraq, but they won't spend money in the national forest.
Those whose homes survived picked up supplies and tried to help neighbors save what they could. Marilyn Howard offered this woman her home.
And I'll come down, my husband and I'll come down and do whatever needs to be to help. And this is devastating watching these people. And we're sitting up there and we're so lucky.
Luck, though, was hard to come by. Entire neighborhoods were burned to the ground. But fire, the fickle enemy that it is, hopscotched more than one home. After an agonizing 22-hour wait, Linda Preen finally got the good news.
I'm blessed. I'm blessed again and again and again, and it's just amazing.
It's been an emotional day here in the Lake Tahoe Basin. 173 homes have been destroyed, 75 outbuildings.
You guys okay? We traveled miles by Humvee through the Carolina Pine Forest to a remote training ground for an elite force. The 21st Chemical Company of the 82nd Airborne Division are the Army's only troops trained to parachute into contaminated war zones.
If there is contamination out there, these guys track it, monitor where it's at, and ensure that no contamination is available or can contaminate units downwind.
If Saddam Hussein uses nuclear, biological, or chemical weapons, this highly trained team of 31 soldiers could be called to action to help define what they call clean or dirty routes for fighting troops.
It's extremely important for us to be able to make sure that they can get back to the fight as fast as possible and make sure that they can go back and do their jobs. And only by us doing our jobs correctly and knowing our jobs extremely well are we able to get them back fast.
First Lieutenant Jonathan Bashaw leads the company and keeps them tuned into their equipment at all times.
Here to the left.
Equipment designed to detect what the president calls the world's worst weapons, because they could be hard to find until it's too late.
Because it's something that you can't see. You know, especially with biological weapons, that's something that's used, and days later, the only reason you know that it's been used is because people start getting sick in mass droves.